I know I talked a lot about how communication is key in healthy relationships. If you are unable to communicate effectively, needs will be left unmet and relationships can end. In this session, we will discuss some ways to have a proper, healthy dialogue, especially when having tough, uncomfortable conversations. Having an effective conversation involves a combination of active listening, expressing yourself clearly, showing empathy, and maintaining a respectful and open minded attitude. Our emotions tend to be the driver of most conversations, which makes the conversation unproductive. We have to start taking control of our emotions. Owning our own feelings helps us bring our best self to the relationship. We will go over ways to deal with uncomfortable emotions later in the course, but no one is capable of having good communication when they're angry or feeling some type of way. When you're beginning to notice certain emotions arising in you, try doing something different than what you would normally do. If you normally argue, take a break. If you normally have hour-long conversations that just keeps going on, take some time and reflection before talking or do something else to boost your mood. Do anything other than what you would normally do. When you begin to notice yourself entering unhealthy patterns, try to stop yourself before the cycle takes place. You can do things like going for a walk, listening to positive music, watching funny videos, doing exercise, cooking, writing in a journal, etc. Okay? You can do these things together or individually. Once you are in a calmer state, you can address any needed situation in a more intentional manner rather than an unconscious, reactive manner. If you are feeling sad, angry, or disappointed, do not wait for your partner to notice, but instead have a sit down and discuss how you're feeling in a mature manner. If you are angry, try to get yourself to a calmer place and plan out how you want the conversation to go. To have an effective conversation, there are a few things you can consider. One, you will want to express your thoughts and feelings in a very clear manner. Do not beat around the bush causing confusion. Be straightforward with what you need to say. If you need to provide feedback or express disagreements, do so in a constructive and respectful manner. Focus on the behavior or issue rather than attacking the person. Use when, what, and how statements instead of generalizing it with statements such as you always or you never. You have to be specific. Being specific will make the person feel like you are not judging their whole character, but rather looking at a specific behavior. For example, yesterday, when you left your clothes on the floor, it made me feel like you didn't notice or appreciate the effort I put into cleaning. You have to remember that everyone has their own opinions, beliefs, and experiences. Be respectful of those differences and avoid imposing your views on others. Try to understand the other person's feelings and point of view, even if you don't agree with them. Acknowledge their emotions and validate their experiences as you try to get your point across, but you have to remain open minded. Do not jump to conclusions or make assumptions. If the conversation becomes heated or tense, take a moment to pause, reflect before you respond. This can help prevent misunderstandings and conflict. Now, you can also try to focus more on the positives when possible. You and your partner both want to make each other feel good. So whenever you have to address negative situations, start with something positive about them or a thing that you appreciate about them, and then insert the specific behavior that negatively affects you. Then after that, try to follow up with another positive statement. But don't constantly mention the positive when you have something negative to bring up. This will make them think that whenever you say something positive, there will always be a problem that follows. Acknowledge their good behaviors regularly, even the small things. The point is to learn to stop yourself from engaging in unproductive arguments that only deteriorate relationships. Listening is such a crucial element when engaging in communication. Summarizing what the other person has said to ensure that you understand them correctly. It shows that you are actively listening and you value their input. Most of the time, people just want to feel heard, whether you agree with them or not. When people feel heard and understood, most problems, they just disappear. So, to actually listen to your partner, stop talking. Pay attention to what they are saying without thinking about the things you are going to say when they're done. Then paraphrase what they have said in your own words. Try to validate their feelings by letting your partner know you understand what those feelings are, even if you don't agree with the reasons they are feeling that way. Body language is also a form of communication. We have to look at that very closely. Personally, my face will tell you something before I had even thought or felt it. And it's important to be mindful of certain behaviors or gestures while engaging in a conversation because it can send the wrong message. For example, if you are looking down, slouching, frowned up, it can send a message that you don't care. You don't care what they're saying, and you're not interested in having this conversation. And that may just be the case. But if it is, ask if there's another time to have the conversation. But the conversation is one that must be had in order to clear up any misunderstanding or issue that is at hand at this time. Okay. So if we can learn to accept our differences, it is our differences that can make a relationship better. Some things may drive you crazy, but you just need to change your perspective. Is it really that bad? If it is, then you may need to reconsider being in the relationship. If it's not, then you need to reconsider your perspective on it. One thing to remember that at some point you decided to be with this person and accepted their weaknesses, strengths, and all. Accept each other where you are at, and if change is needed, commit to mutual growth. A good way to develop a positive outlook in your relationship is for you and your partner to sit down and write about 30 things, big or small, that you like about each other in the relationship. When you are done, compare lists and then place them somewhere that you both can see them as a reminder of how you truly see each other at the core. 30 may seem like a lot, but it allows the mind to think of the little things that sometimes go unnoticed. So, in the next activity, I want you to focus on the positive things about the person you are currently in a relationship with. It could be romantic, platonic, family, or friends. Just think about the things that positive characteristics, traits that this individual have. Again, if you're struggling with finding anything positive about a person, ask yourself, is that person an asset or a liability in your life? And why?